Hello, welcome back. Today we'll continue our adventure on I Ching, the Book of Changes, the oldest Chinese book full of ancient wisdom. Before we go to the next hexagram, which is the fourth hexagram called Meng, let's review the last hexagram called Zun. Zun hexagram is the third hexagram with 2 yang lines and 4 yin lines. Its image is the thunder in the cloud. When yin and yang meet at the first time, it's difficult. To make best under the difficulties, we should build up a base camp, doing reforms to consolidate the supports, avoid making early risky movement till the clouds retreated. The fourth hexagram is called Meng. It also has 2 yang lines and 4 yin lines, but compared to third hexagram, Zun, yang lines or yin lines are in different positions. For Meng hexagram, the second line and top line, are the yang line. The rest of lines are yin lines. Zun has the yang lines at the first and fifth position. Split the Meng hexagram into 2 trigrams. The lower trigram is yang line positioned in the middle of 2 yin lines. It is called Kan. The trigram is also appear in the last Zun hexagram, but in the upper position. Kan trigram is cloud, water, rain. The upper trigram of Meng is 1 yang line on top of the 2 yin lines. It is called Geng. It is a new one. Geng trigram is mountain. So the image of Meng hexagram is the water at the bottom of mountain. Or make it dynamic, we say the spring water at the bottom of mountain. So far, we learned the 5 trigrams. They are Qian, Kun, Kan, Zhen, Geng. Qian trigram has 3 yang lines. It represents the sky. Kun trigram has 3 yin lines. It represents the ground. Kan trigram has 1 yang line in the middle of 2 yin lines. It represents water. Zhen trigram has 1 yang line under 2 yin lines. It represents thunder. Geng trigram has 1 yang line on top of 2 yin lines. It represents mountain. Those are more than half of the 8 trigrams now. Now back to Meng hexagram. Meng is the 4th hexagram in I Ching. The symbolic image of Meng hexagram is the spring water at the bottom of mountain. Here is a judgment of Meng hexagram. Judgment by King Wen. Networking. Knowledge does not go to naivety of childhood. Naivety of childhood leads to knowledge. One would get the answer the first time asked for. Asking second time or third time would be profane and would not get the answer. Integrity is a key to get things done. First, compare the judgment of Meng hexagram to last hexagram Zheng hexagram and miss the origination. That is, Meng hexagram does not have creativity, does not start anything new. Next, Meng hexagram has networking, but networking with different conditions. Let's read them again. Knowledge does not go to naivety of childhood. Naivety of childhood leads to knowledge. One would get the answer the first time asked for. Asking second time or third time would be profane and would not get the answer. Those are the important characteristics of Meng hexagram. It makes Meng hexagram very special. It's heuristic in modern epistemology too, so we'll spend a little more time explaining it. The image of Meng hexagram is spring water at the bottom of mountain. Through this image, we see a picture that water already come up at the low place, the bottom of mountain. It does not have a way to flow. This image is a symbol of the state of uncertainty, confusing, hesitate. If we were in that situation, we would seek directions, guidance, to find the correct path. The most important keyword here is the naivety of childhood. That is, the Meng hexagram really means, what is the naivety of childhood? The naivety of childhood is a state of mind that has no prejudices, no stereotypes. It's empty, innocent like a newborn baby. However, knowledge would not automatically come to you, even though you have a mind of naivety of childhood. You have to pursue the knowledge with the mind of naivety of childhood. That explains the judgment of knowledge does not go to naivety of childhood. Naivety of childhood leads to knowledge. The next sentence in the judgment tells us how to pursue knowledge. It says, one would get answer the first time asked for. Asking second time or third time would be profane and would not get the answer. The whole sentence emphasized the manner of pursuing knowledge, that is, ask the question only once. This is a total different than what we teach our kids, totally different than what we had done in elementary school ourselves. We usually repeatedly do the same drills so we can remember. That is how we learn knowledge in schools. We might think there were no schools 3,000 years ago, but that's not why King Wen made this judgment. The real reason is that there's no knowledge transfer here. The knowledge is not outside somewhere. The knowledge is in our mind. The knowledge would be woken when you ask the first time. The knowledge would be approached only by the naivety of childhood. In other words, if you ask the same question repeatedly, you lost the naivety of childhood mindset. This is totally anti-science. Let's forget Western philosophy for a moment. Let's keep our naivety of childhood so we can understand King Wen's judgment. It can be rephrased as clear our prejudice and stereotypes with a mindset of naivety of childhood, review knowledge from our minds. You may wonder, the judgment says one would get an answer the first time asked for. But who do you ask for? You can ask yourself or ask somebody else. They do not make much differences. Ask yourself, self-reveal the knowledge in your mind. Or ask someone else who can help you approach the knowledge in your mind. Last sentence in King Wen's judgment on Meng hexagram is the same as on Zun hexagram. That is, integrity is the key to get things done. We should be honesty to ourselves, firmly keep the naivety of childhood so that we would reach our goals. Now we'll go over the line comments by Duke of Zhou. We'll see how Meng hexagram develops. The initial line is an yin line. The comments are ignorance, use persons punished by law, remove fetters and handcuffs, not good to move forward. The initial stage of Meng hexagram is ignorance stage. At this stage, using a person punished by law as an example shows the red line that one cannot cross, even though it does not need to put a fetter or handcuffs to restrain the freedom to take actions, but make movement at this moment would be bad. After one was aware of the law, he is ready to proceed to next stage. Comments on line 2, a yang line of Meng hexagram are: tolerance, good. Take advices from woman, good. Let son manage family affairs. This is a time to open up the mind, to listen to wife at home, and ask son to run family business. That is, when you have no idea what to do, just ask people around you to help. Open yourself up to new ideas, new methods, and get ready for new knowledge. Line 3 on Meng hexagram is an yin line. Comments on line 3 are: one should not marry a woman who sees you as a wealthy man, but does not take you as a person. No advantage to move forward. This comment is quite symbolic. After tolerance stage, the previous stage, this is a cautious time. Now it's not good time to make big decisions, to make big actions like marriage that can have long-lasting effect on your life. That is, no action before getting true knowledge. Line 4 on Meng hexagram is another yin line. Comments on line 4 is short, puzzled, no good. This is a necessary stage in preparation for real knowledge. When we confused, perplexed, painfully lost the direction, we are ready for new ideas, new knowledge. If we have not reached the point of total perplex, if you think you know what to do, you are not ready for the new knowledge, not have cleaned our mind to accept a new idea yet. Line 5 of Meng hexagram is again a yin line. The comment on line 5 is also concise. Naivety of childhood, good. Stage 5 of Hmong hexagram is the peak of Hmong. Now, we finally reach the state of the naivety of childhood. That is a state to pursue no knowledge. Remember, we should pursue knowledge with no prejudice, no stereotypes. It's no need to say that again here, as it was already in the judgment of Hmong hexagram. Top line of Hmong hexagram is a yang line. The comments of the top lines are eliminated ignorance, not good to be bandit, good to beat bandits. The last stage of Hmong hexagram is action time. With knowledge, we can do the right thing. That is to say, we can use the knowledge to beat the bandits, but not to be the bandits. We can use the knowledge to be good people, not bad people. That's all the line comments on Hmong hexagram by Duke of Zhou. Let's quickly go over them again. Initial yin line, ignorance. Second yang line, tolerance. Third yin line, not an action time. Fourth yin line, puzzled. Fifth yin line, naivety of childhood. Top yang line, eliminated ignorance. The development of Hmong hexagram illustrated the path to knowledge, from ignorance to tolerate, do not act or make decisions, then falling into puzzles. Finally, reach the state of naivety of childhood. The knowledge is there. You simply ask for it with honesty and respect. With knowledge, overcome ignorance. One should act, do something good, defeat bad guys. This path to knowledge is certainly very different than Western philosophy, very different compared to modern education. Knowledge is not taught by teachers, obtained by trainings, or derived logically. In the judgment of Hmong by Qin Wen, naivety of childhood leads to knowledge. One would get the answer the first time asked for. However, it is not clear who to ask for knowledge. Here, Taoist says, ask yourself. Knowledge is in your mind, only blocked by noises from outside the world. When we reach the state of the naivety of childhood, knowledge will emerge. Confucianism says, ask the nobleman. When you reach the state of naivety of childhood and ask the nobleman with honesty and respect, the nobleman would lead you to true knowledge. No matter what, the key takeaway from Hmong hexagram is to clean up the prejudice and stereotypes, to review or approach knowledge with honesty and respect. Now let's have a summary. The name of the fourth hexagram is Hmong. The image of Hmong hexagram is spring water at the bottom of mountain. This image symbolically implies spring water blocked by mountain get no idea where to go. When more and more spring water accumulated, eventually it will find its way to flow. Use it as a metaphor. Hmong is a progress from ignorance to knowledge. There are several stages on the way to knowledge, and the key is the state of naivety of childhood, which is necessary for approaching knowledge. Finally, with the knowledge, one can act to become a good person, to defeat bandits. The famous story of Archimedes and the king's crown can be an example of Meng hexagram. In ancient Greek, King Hero II of Syracuse wanted to know if his new crown was made by pure gold without breaking the crown. King asked the smartest person in the town, Archimedes, to figure it out. Archimedes did not know what to do, but could not refuse King's request. He spent days on the problem, made no progress. Archimedes was so tired, he stepped into bathtub. The water splashed over the side. All of a sudden, he knew the answer and was so excited, ran outside on the street, shouting, "Eureka, Eureka," which means, "I found it." Yes, Archimedes found a way to prove if the king's crown was pure gold. Here, no one taught Archimedes the knowledge, but the idea came to Archimedes after he had struggled for several days. That was a good demonstration of Meng hexagram. If you think it's incidental, please allow me to read a couple paragraphs from a book by Greg Shantin. The title of the book is MetaMath. On page 148, Chapter 7, Conclusion. This book is full of amazing case studies of new, unexpected math ideas that reduce the complicated to the obvious. And I've come up with a few of these ideas myself. How does it feel to do that? Well, you can't find them if you don't look for them, if you don't really believe in them. Is there some way to train for it, like a sport? No, I don't think so. You have to be seized by a demon, and our society doesn't want too many people to be like that. Shantain is a mathematician and a computer scientist. There's no evidence he had read I Ching. That's all for Meng hexagram. Meng hexagram is the fourth hexagram of I Ching. It is spring water at the bottom of a mountain, illustrate how human beings get out of ignorance, get knowledge, do right things. Now we only have 60 hexagrams left. Bye.